What's going on, everyone? This is EDC for Fun. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are modding my Demko 80 20.5. Now this guy right here is the DLT exclusive Tonto 3V version. And I gotta be honest, out of the box, I wasn't super impressed. It's definitely a cool knife. It looks awesome. It's got good, materials or whatever. Got a unique locking mechanism on there, but the lack of a detent really kind of bugs me. The action is subpar because of that. So we're going to address that with a magnet mod here. We're going to add a magnetic detent. I've actually already done that to this one here. You can see there's, well, if you don't know what it looks like inside there, there's a little disc right there that is a magnet. I did have one on the other side, but it fell out. I was a little impatient in letting it set up and started using and carrying and fidgeting before it was fully set and it fell off. But I didn't really bother to fix it because I knew that I had some scales coming on the way. So I have some Rips Garage Tech OD green canvas micarta scales that I'm going to put on here. And so what I'm going to do the scale swap first, just to make sure that the fit and finish is good and that I'm happy with that. And then assuming that all goes swimmingly, then I will go ahead and add the magnetic detent and show you guys how I do that. So without further ado, I'm going to slide that out of the way, push that back a little bit, and flip that to this side. I've got a T6 in my Weehaw driver here. Slide that over a little bit, and I will start by doing the clip side, I guess. I don't know. We'll just jump in and see what it is. So I'll go ahead and remove the clip screws. And if you guys have done these mods on your 80 20.5, let me know in the comments. How did it go for you? How do you like the magnetic detent? Or do you have an 80 20.5 and you want to do the magnetic detent, but for some reason or other just haven't gotten around to it? For me, I didn't have this knife for more than a day or two before I went ahead and picked up the magnets. And I got them from Harbor Freight, by the way. They were like, I don't know, like $3 and then $6 shipping, or I don't even know. It was like basically like $10 overall. And so I'll put, if I remember, actually no, I don't need to put anything in the description, because you can just look right here. These are 5/16 diameter and they are 5/64 thick. We'll get a closer look at these when we actually get to that part, but I was just talking about it, so I figured I would bring it up. And we got a T10. I'd said in the unboxing, by the way, that this pivot was a 8. It's actually a 10, so my bad. And we'll go ahead and these pivots are really cool. I like the oversized pivots. Wampum, PA. Even though this model is actually made in Taiwan, I think it's still cool to rep your home spot. So cool for Demko. All right, so we have to be a little bit careful. There is a spring inside of there. You'll see in a second. So that is our scale. And here is our liner, which we're gonna gracefully just kind of shimmy off of there. And that could use a little bit of a wipe down too. So here you can see, by the way, I have outlined the liner. So that's one thing that you're going to want to do when you do the magnetic detent mod, is go ahead and outline that, so that way when you take this off, you know where you're putting your magnet and you don't have to worry about it clinging to a liner. So yeah, remove the ferrous material after you have your outline, get your magnet on there, clamp it, let it set up. I didn't let mine cure a full 24 hours, and that is, likely why this did not stick. So anyway, we're going to really quick just go ahead and wipe off this liner. I will take out, this will be the first time I've taken this out of the package. I've resisted the urge to touch these because I didn't want to get my oils all over them. My oils, that sounds weird. The oil from my hands without actually doing the install first. So this is going to be, man, I like the way this micarta feels. Seems to be milled very well. Everything looks precise, clean, crisp. Just looking at everything all the way around, doing a little pre-installation inspection. Everything passes the eyeball test. So we'll check it with the liner. And got a little bit of movement there. Let's compare that to this in here. The same. You got a little bit of wiggle room. That's just the tolerances there. Probably just a few thousandths. Cool. We'll go ahead and put this liner back on. And, oh, that's funny. It's actually the wrong liner. I mean, wrong scale. Ah, cool. This one's got, might be hard to see on camera, but we've got some RGT milling right there. Again, everything looks crisp, clean. Nothing looks unfinished. Very good. Ooh, that looks sick. Interesting, it does look a little bit thicker. I don't have calipers nearby, but yeah, we're definitely a little bit thicker. So hopefully the depth on the countersink there for the screws is on point, and our screws actually go all the way through to those barrel spacers there. I'm definitely digging that. That looks sick. All right, now this side with the captive pivot there, let's see, how do we want to do this? I guess what I'll do is I'll put a couple body screws in here, flip it over, and take that side off. It's the first time doing this, so thanks for joining me. Really appreciate you guys hanging out on the channel. Definitely leave me a like and a comment. Actually, I'll just put that one in there because that's for the clip, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and pull these off. Oh, that one's spinning. I hate it when they do that. There we go. Just squeeze the scales together. And that's enough to get that to come out. Now, remember, we do have to be careful. There is a spring in there. So let's go ahead and push our pivot out. All right. Get that out of the way. And hopefully nothing flies out of here. Shimmy shimmy, and there's this side with the magnet. Maybe I used just more glue on this one and it's stuck. You can see I've got some over gluing there as compared to this one, but obviously that one's stuck in there. And I'll put this one back on, so if I ever want to go back to the G10, I'll have the magnet mod on the G10 as well. So we will carefully remove our liner. Uh-oh, I pulled the whole lock out. So here's our spring. I only pulled it off because I wanted to wipe it off. So I'm gonna keep my thumb here because I do not want that spring to fly out. But I just do wanna wipe these liners off a little bit. Just get some of the schmutz off. Bearing sliding around there. very carefully put this back. Oh, bearing fell out. You know what? While these are out, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some KPL. I will carefully let go of that. And where the heck is my KPL? There it is. Knife pivot lube. It's good stuff. Lasts a while. So what I'm going to do, I'll just put a little bit of a drop on here and just kind of give that a good once over. Do the same with the other one. You can see these bearings are open on one side and closed on the other. And so I typically will put the open side away from the blade. Off my fingers. All right, I'm actually going to try and transfer this lock because that was a little goofy when I tried to do it last time. So pull this pin out, put it there, pull this pin out. There it goes. Go ahead and pop that pin in there. And now, I lost the spring, but it wasn't under tension, so we're good to go. Might as well wipe this off. All right. So that goes in there like that, and then this spring here is gonna slide in there like that. Sure that bearing's in place. Let's get our blade in place. I kind of wish there was races on the blade here just to help locate everything. Of course, there's probably better ways to disassemble and reassemble, but I like when they're machined in there and you've got a little cup for the bearings to sit in. That's on like spawn. Hopefully no bearings spill out. All right. Looking good. Just kind of stick this in here and locate. We do have that spring tension, so it's going to move a little bit. Go ahead and let's see about this pivot. I believe there is a flat side, and that flat side needs to be pointing up. All right, we got it pointing up. Slide the blade down a little bit. Pop her in there. Dang, nice and flush. You gotta love that. Nothing's bolted, but we are centered. We'll go ahead and get our pivot screw in here to hold things together. And we're just gonna snug it down. We're not gonna tighten it all the way. Little snug action. Oh, dude, this is gonna be sick. I'm psyched about these. So we don't want to over tighten, especially with T6s. You got to be really careful not to strip these little guys out. So we're just backing it off and snugging it, making sure everything's consistent. Our blade is a little off to the show side. That might have to do with, yeah, it feels like it's over tightened. just snug that down. Now we're centered. Got a little squeak there. Blade is rock solid. Well, the action is not the best. We are a little tight, but also I don't have the magnet mod. So, and I'm also under a camera here, but the scales feel fantastic. Everything fits together nicely. Got some good chamfering all the way around. Good texture. Looks sharp. Yeah, fit and finish, function, everything seems to be normal. So I'm going to actually take a break. I'm going to put this in my pocket, just carry it around for a little bit, maybe an hour or two, go have dinner or whatever. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the magnets in. So assuming everything holds up well, then we'll come back, add the magnets, and we will be done. All right, we are back. I have been enjoying this setup. I'm gonna go ahead now and disassemble it and add the magnetic detent. All right, that is a complete disassembly. So we will put our liners in here. And I'm gonna take a pencil and just trace what we got going on in here. That way we know where our liners go. Go ahead and grab our magnets. And they are pretty strong. Let's see if we can slide one off here. Or two. There we go. Oop. Oh, yes, they are magnets. They will stick to stuff. Let's move that away a little bit. Actually, I'm going to take one of these liners and stick it underneath, so that way I can kind of manipulate it like that. Do the same here. And I just want to make sure they're more or less spaced. Am I on camera? Yeah. More or less spaced the same. So just trying to get it nice and centered in there, and I'm just eyeballing it, and then I'm going to mark it and then glue it. That looks a little more like right. Dang, this guy wants to slide on me. Just kind of using that as a guide so the magnet doesn't get too off center when I place it. I guess if you wanted to, you could measure like the center and put it in there. I'm not doing that. Just kind of eyeball everything again, make sure it looks right. Cool, and I'm just using some Gorilla Glue. And I'm just gonna put, oh, where is it? I thought I had a cotton swab here, I guess I don't. So just put a little dab right in the center. Just going to put a little bit of weight on it while I do the other one. And then once they're done, I'm actually going to clamp them. You don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little either. Okay. I need something else with a little bit of weight. Well, I guess I could just use this. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I am going to let these sit like that for a few minutes while the glue starts to set, and then I'm gonna have a clamp off camera here. Actually, I can probably swing this. Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a few days since I have done the scale swap and magnetic detent mod for my 80-20.5, and I gotta tell you, it's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera real quick. Yeah, so this came out great. It really turned the knife around for me. I think it looks better, it feels better. The action is substantially improved. You can see I've got magnets on both sides in the scales there. They've held on really well. Again, if you clamp them and let them set up before you start playing with it, you shouldn't have any issues. But yeah, these Rips Garage Tech scales feel really good. I do like the added thickness, and they did give you longer screws here for the clips since it is thicker. And funny thing is, they're T8. So it'd be nice if I could find T8 body screws. If you know where to get them, let me know, because I'd rather have T8s throughout versus 8 and 6 and 10, but whatever. So yeah, this thing has been sick, man. I really like this knife now. I mean, it was cool before. Like I said, it's got a different lock. It looks cool. You know, it's got the 3V Tonto blade, but that action was just ugh. And now with the magnets in there, it doesn't only have resistance. I mean, that thing wants to go back home. So you do have to be careful. You know, if you're, especially if you're doing this drop here, that your fingers aren't in the way. And that is kind of fun, by the way. It's almost like doing a back lock, right? Just dropping it like that. But yeah, so you've got the resistance with the magnetic detent. So when it breaks that, it flies out. Now you can still fail it, right? Like, let's see. Yeah, you can definitely, if you try to fail it, you can fail it. But, you know, in regular, you know, flipping, like, it's money. Both the thumb flick, and you can see I barely flicked that one, and it, you know, it worked out no problem. So yeah, really happy with that. For 10 bucks, I mean, that's a heck of a mod. I mean, you can make the argument that they, you know, should come from the, you know, from the factory out of the box better than they do, and I get that. That's valid. But at the same time, you know, I like being able to put my own spin on stuff. So I got the magnets in there, got the scales on there, and you know, now this is like unique to me, right? So this is my knife, and I'm digging it. So only thing left to do with this guy is sharpen it. I've pretty much used up the factory edge. I mean, it's pretty much par for the course, but I'm going to put my edge on there. I don't think I'm going to reprofile it, but I'm definitely going to get a new edge on there, and this thing is going to be one of my favorite knives. I'm sure of it, because I'm already just carrying it a ton, and it is quickly becoming a favorite. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you know, checking out the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and leave me a like and a comment if you haven't already, guys. Subscribed, much appreciated. Thanks for spending some time with me. God bless you, and have a fantastic day. See ya.